Current affairs, facts and opinion, their future in our hands. Markets, globalist technocrats versus the people. A line in the sand. The McIntyre Report.
And welcome back, folks. Australian National View of McIntyre Report, ANR.news/24-hour news headlines. You can follow myself, Jamie McIntyre 21 on X. Despite the censorship, independent media is growing, and people leading the way, such as Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, and many others. And many of them are recognised at the Australian National View hosted as a broadcast host for the Independent Media Awards last year. To recognise this growing, emerging industry is probably our last line of defence against the Globalist Agenda, 2030 Agenda, which is now becoming very obvious of what they want. They want us locked in with digital ID, central bank digital currency, track and trace surveillance, and then with programmable, expirable money, they can control every aspect of your life, and including your food, where you can get your food from, if enough food supplies, banning you from traveling. Well, they don't have to ban you from flying because the cost of airfares are going to go through the roof because the record high fuel prices. You'll be forced onto an electric car, which also will only allow you to go certain places and not past your 15-minute city boundary, and you'll need a permit to be able to even leave your council area, let alone your 2 domestic flights you'll be allowed per year. Or, of course, to save humanity, where you'll own nothing, but you'll be much happier. Why the globalist elites own everything and rent the rest to you. Trump is obviously losing support, not just from the left. You expect the left-wing Democrats to attack Trump. Many of us defended Trump and endorsed Trump. The political revolution more promised. But was this all just a lie? Was it all just staged to get him elected as well? Many people are asking that question now.
I don't know why this has never fully crossed my mind, but this picture is just too good to be true.
The president's been shot. Oh, no. No. Either that or they're covering. We don't know. Either that or they're covering him. We love you. We love you, President Trump. We love you. We love you, President Trump. We love you. Yes.
You guys see it, right? Why does it look like the flag is being lowered into position just as photographers are being ushered in to take photographs? Right there, no flag, and now there's a flag. Let's look at it again. Okay, there's no flag. Trump has just gotten up from being shot, and now the photographers are being moved into position. At this point, the camera angle basically stabilizes position, and then now you see the flag coming into frame. No flag. And then photographers getting in position, and then flag. Like, I don't know what's going on here, but something dark seems to be happening. Could Butler have been a stage event to communicate to Trump that he's under some kind of threat? Or was he maybe in on it to help him win the election, and once victorious, allow him to assume some kind of demonic role to usher in the end times? Which he says he's not. He's just a humble Red Cross doctor with demons above his head. But seriously, what the heck is going on?
You might also have those questions. Of course, when that assassination attempt come out, we didn't, support or believe that it was staged. It's probably looking more like it is now. For what reason? To try and get him elected. Now, whether he's in on it or not may not be the case, but those who are pulling the strings could have easily, of course, staged it. But the left faction globalists wouldn't have staged it. Other they would want him dead. The right faction, of course, would try and stage it. We know that the Trump administration, as we warned last year when we were at Washington reporting live at CPAC, the biggest conservative political action conference in the world, and Trump obviously was there, Elon Musk, the whole Zionist crew, that it was a Zionist administration, and you don't get to be part of it unless you swear your allegiance not to America, but to that fake state in the Middle East, created by a banking cartel family that would never let your children stay at their place overnight because they're not good Christians, don't have traditional values, satanic Luciferians. That would be the Rothschilds, banker wanker family. But people some are still standing with Trump, despite the obvious that he's working for Israel, make Israel great again, MAGA, and MAGA is effectively dead.
They recognize they've got some problems and got to try to deal with it. And then there was a report out that they had an emergency meeting Saturday night. And apparently, well, one report coming out of that meeting at the White House is that Trump wanted to use the nuclear codes, and General Dan Kane stood up and said no. He invoked his privilege as the head of the military, so to speak. It was apparently quite a blow up. There are pictures of Kane coming out of that meeting with his head down to the ground. So, you know, there's some very, very bizarre things going on in D.C.
Well, on Saturday night.
So we're seeing there that the talk that Trump wanted the codes or wanted to potentially, of course, nuke Iran. Of course, Israel wants to nuke Iran, and both China and Russia have been very quick to comment even before this that if Israel dare nukes Tehran, the capital of Iran, that there will be no more Israel. That's very clear that they would counterstrike and wipe Israel off the map. Israel is the only country, by the way, that has the Samson option and that plans or has stated publicly many times that would, if under threat, it would attack nuclear. The other thing they can do is their terrorist attacks, like many now know they were behind September 11th, and even potentially try and nuke an American city and obviously frame and blame Iran, a little bit like they did Bondi massacre, frame and blame Iran, or these terrorists. Everyone's a terrorist except the country that drops bombs on schools and kills schoolgirls or drops bombs on innocent children in Gaza every day. And when they can't do that, they drop them in Lebanon or wherever they wish to target. But the world is certainly waking up. What can be done about it? That's what we need to find out.
In 2009, Barack Obama was president, and under his administration, they made an agreement with Israel that Israel, through the NSA, would receive all of the intel. If they're using FISA 702, say to investigate terrorism, anybody that is linked to that person or in that sphere at all, they would use 702, and that all of that information goes to Israel, including American citizens or text messages or emails, like all of their communication goes, and it's not protected, it's not covered up. So say if they're spying on someone, say from Syria or someone from you name it, some foreign country, and they're in America and they're using 702 to investigate this person to prevent terrorism, right?
Right.
Any American that was even the next door neighbor, like however they were linked, they can use FISA and 702 on that American, and they don't protect the American citizen. They still give the information to Israel. So that agreement is still in place. And so, I mean,
right now that's still in place. So all that information is going to Israel, who's able to catalog it, collect it, holds it, use it, blackmail, whatever it is.
Yeah, and Israel just put out a list of the top 10 most their anti-Semitic list, their anti-Israel list. Tucker Carlson is on that list. Candace Owens is on that list. My name isn't on there, but I'm sure I'm somewhere on their list. But imagine if, say, our government decides that they're going to prosecute anti-Semitism, which shockingly has been talked about, then without warrant protections and protections for American citizens, a clean FISA 702 reauthorization could open up that type of spying on American citizens and that information being handed over to a foreign government. Let's take Israel off of there. It's ridiculous and absurd to think that information on American citizens who are guaranteed the right to privacy, that their information could be given to any foreign government.
Right.
Any foreign government.
Right.
And so there's a lot more at stake and dangerous when we're seeing the president tell Congress just reauthorize it clean, get it done, just get it done. And then what they're doing, just so you know what they're doing, is they're bringing in these members of Congress that are no votes, that Republicans, they'll bring them into the Oval Office. They pull chairs right up, because it's what they did to me several times. Put the chair right in front of the Resolute desk in the Oval Office, and then the president basically lectures you and scolds you for as long as it takes until they can convert you to a yes vote. And so it's unbelievable pressure, but I hope they can stand up to it. I voted no on the reauthorization when I was there. I know Thomas Massey is a no, but he has 3 amendments. He said if they pass my amendments that put warrant protections in place, he'll vote for it. I would have been in the same camp.
Yeah, so there you have it. It's crazy what's going on, but people are starting to realize, I mean, I think the level of support in America for Israel is dropping dramatically. It's generally be the older generation that, obviously was unfortunately brainwashed at church a lot, and they Israel and Rothschilds fund it, to change the Bible and to pay pastors to push that, the Israel in the Bible is the modern day state of Israel, which is a complete lie. Israel's not biblical. 1948 is hardly biblical. And they were lied. People, good-hearted people, good Christians were lied to, of course, that Israel's the chosen ones, which is, of course, another lie. So it's good to see America waking up. But what's waking up people a lot, if you haven't seen them, I'm sure you have, but Iran is winning the propaganda wars, and probably because, thanks to Lego, and Lego creating a narrative of telling the truth. Take a look at this.
Our inboxes are flooded with Americans who say they don't watch the news, they listen to our songs instead. Because your media is full of lies. Let's be honest and talk about reality. And light. You sell nuclear threats to every camera in sight, but our leader said nuclear weapons are haram. My track record is clean, the real atomic arsenal. Tel Aviv, my dear, IA is in the building and they've been watching the files. Israel's undeclared warheads are stacked miles away. You weaponize fear of Iran to fund the machine while AIPAC lobbies Congress and pockets your money. The lobbying chain is tight, strangling the world while your son trades stocks in his velvet robe. Wake up, America! Open your eyes to the devil's plan. Epstein, the ruler. Sacrifice for the light of Israel. America, open your eyes to the devil.
There's more. Check this one out.
20 minutes, 7,990 lots. $760 million. Someone knew something. Who's on the phone, Dunny? Who's on the phone? 20 minutes before the tweet, the shorts were placed. 799 lots, that's the winning pace. 770 million betting on the down. Someone had the news before it hit the town. Troll, insider trading? Nah, just a lucky guess. Brent crude was falling 11% down. Portfolios pumping in the golden crown. Who called the play? Who made the call? Same pattern every time. The writing's on the wall. 20 minutes before the tweet, the shorts were placed. 799, that's the winning taste. Payback. Florida says, give the money back. Soldiers starving in the sand, that's the real attack. March 23, 500 million short. 50 minutes later, Trump changed the sport. April 7, 950 more. Another short position walking through the door. Coincidence 3 times, come on man. Now Flores candidates screaming on the floor. Give our money back, every single law. 385 million sent across the sea. War criminal, baby, that's not chivalry. 20 minutes before the tweet the shorts were placed. $7.99 is the winning case. Payback, Florida says, give the money back. Soldiers starving in the sand, that's the real attack. Independent, drop the truth. Troops are going hungry. Food packages from families stuck and blowing hungry. Mail stopped to the zone, boxes in the line. Soldiers asking Congress, why are we in this crime? They sent care packages, but the packages never arrived. Morale hitting bottom in the desert heat. Eating rations weekly, admitting defeat. While the shorts are making millions on the crude. Tell me who's the enemy, tell me who's the rule. Same account, same timing, every single time. Trump tweets the news, the shorts commit the crime. Crypto over-coded patterns plain to see. Third time's the charm, who's paying the fee? Someone's getting a Christmas card from Mar-a-Lago. 760 million reasons to question the game. When the man who starts the war gets the winning frame. Florid wants payback, they be give the cooling. But the shorts already cashed up, nothing left to join. 20 minutes, train time. Same pattern, the same pattern. $7.99, 760 million. 20 minutes before the tweet the shorts were placed. $7.99, that's the winning case. Payback, Florida says, give the money back. Soldiers starving in the sand, that's the real attack. 20 minutes, that's all it takes. 760 million reasons to investigate. But the Senate won't ask, the seat won't look. Because the man who signed the check wrote the book. Someone knew someday! Someone always knows! Baby, where's my cut?
Wow. Talk about trolling Trump hard. Of course, we didn't like the Biden administration, Democrats being corrupted to the hilt. It's hard to suggest that this isn't going on the Republican side. And with the Trump administration, some are asking $760 million worth of oil shorts placed 20 minutes before Trump announced the Strait of Hormuz was open. Is Barron Trump behind it? If you're not aware, the Trump family has enriched themselves greatly from trades before this, since Trump come back into power, making hundreds of millions. Eric Jr. is reportedly already a billionaire. John Jr., the other son, is worth over $500 million. Barron Trump is reportedly worth, still at 19 in college, $150 million. This is US. Large amounts of money. Gifts of aircrafts. It's not looking good for Trump. He's losing support everywhere. And because we warned that Israel will destroy any presidency, and if Trump doesn't stand up to them, they will destroy his presidency. The last president to really stand up to Israel, unfortunately, was JFK, and many suspect we know what happened to him. Let's go a quick ad break. We'll be back with some more after this ad break.
The McIntyre Report.
And welcome back, folks. McIntyre Report here. Jamie McIntyre reporting live on behalf of Australian National Review out of our Indonesian studios. Well, Trump, MAGA, is his presidency dead? Will he soon become a lame duck president? It's certainly his popularity is collapsing. Of course, we expect the left side globalists, the Democrat supporters, to attack him. Cheap politics, they always did. But it's the right side of politics. MAGA is split. There is no much more MAGA. Many people feel deeply betrayed. Even Tucker Carlson was highlighting that recently.
I think it's very good, in fact, necessary to force leaders to do what they say they're going to do. Otherwise, come on, dude, we're moving toward one of two endpoints. One is a totalitarian society where you just don't have the option of disagreeing. You have to obey because you've got programmable digital currency and universal surveillance, and you just have to do what they say or they'll starve you to death.
It's not going to work here.
I hope it. I pray it doesn't.
It's not going to work.
We're going to have a revolution. It's one of the two. We're getting totalitarian government or revolution.
It's going to work for a little bit, and then it's not going to work anymore.
I pray you're right. I'm a gold buyer on that basis, an ammo buyer. But again, I have no track record of seeing the future, but I'm convinced that the current course won't work because it's a lie. If you tell people they own the government, they're in charge, they rule through the representatives in this democratic republic, that's what we've told, that's our system, has been for 250 years. If you tell them that's the system and you don't deliver on it, they go crazy. They go totally crazy. If you tell them, and by the way, I've spent a lot of time in
What do you think happens when a government takes everybody's currency in a country that has more fucking guns and ammunition than anywhere else in the entire world?
I mean, as I've said a million times,
it works for a little bit. And then when the desperation kicks in, that shit doesn't fucking work anymore.
Well, so that's exactly, we're saying the same thing. We're moving toward totalitarianism or revolution, violent revolution. By the way, if you tell people they can't say what they think and their vote doesn't matter, how many options have you left for them? Just one. Violence.
Very fucking many.
That's right. So don't do that. Don't do that. It's much better to give a little. And you do this with your kids, especially when they become teenagers. You reach a point where it's like, you can smell the defiance on them. How do I handle this? Just punch them in the face? Cut them off? Starve them out? No. You listen. You make it clear that you're in charge. You'll be deciding. But you take their position into consideration because you have to, because they're becoming adults. You have to be a little flexible. No, you can't smoke weed at the breakfast table. Like, there's some things you will never accept. But you can't ignore every single signal you're getting from your children. Well, your population's very similar.
I'm getting really angry right now.
Why?
I think we should go. I think we should go out back and blow some shit.
Sorry.
Break.
Interesting chat there, Tucker Carlson. He has valid points. America does have a lot of guns, but obviously this seems the last desperate attempt by, the way we're trying to highlight to our readers here and listeners at Australian National View is that I see we have three options. You've got the left faction globalist Zionists, the George Soroses of the world, the Klaus Schwabs, you'll own nothing but be happy, World Economic Forum nonsense, right? They push the transgender, sexual degeneracy, confuse people, depopulation strategies, etc. You have that. Then you have the right faction Zionists, the Netanyahu crowds who control the Trump administration, etc. And both are behind rampant immigration to the West. Israel bombs excess Muslim nations, and then Israel floods the West with excess Muslim immigrants, all to make out for a couple of reasons. One, to make out Muslims are trying to take over the world. Islamic extremism is largely a creation of recruitment and propaganda pushed by Israel to, one, they want to divide to conquer us, flood the West, white nations predominantly, that was built by white Christian people. And that's been a very successful civilization builder, that if you want to take over the world, you need to eradicate, divide, weaken, feminize white people, because they're your greatest threat to taking the world over. And then you want to make a deflection of magician's trick to highlight, hey, it's over here, it's not us. The Muslims are the enemy. Christians need to be careful. They're the ones that hate you and want to wipe you out, which is completely not true at all. I live in the largest Muslim nation on the planet, and Muslims and Christians get along just fine here. Do Christians get along fine in Israel? Definitely not. Yet in Iran, there's Jewish synagogues. So Iran is not anti even to Jewish people. The hatred is coming from the one fake state. But that one fake state is forcing laws through in the West, including Australia, of hate speech that you can't. It's not hate speech. It's that you can't criticize a nation that is bombing innocent children. If you do, you're anti-Semitic. Oh, you mean I oppose the mass slaughter and murder of unarmed civilians, therefore I'm anti-Semitic? It's just a defensive thing they've used for a long period of time. It's not a Jewish issue because many Zionists are dumbed down Westerners. Majority of Zionists aren't even Jewish. I'm not saying there's not a Jewish problem, but there's definitely a dumbed down Westerners problem as well because they're so brainwashed that they'll, like even in Australia, how many people are confused? I'm going to support anti-immigration party like, say, One Nation. You know, or in England, Nigel Farage, etc. I want to support Tommy Robertson in England, Pauline Hanson in Australia. Okay, great. But who do they bow to? Who's funding them? It's not Israel. So they are playing it on both sides. Left faction you don't like, so you will choose the right. But you're only getting a one world government solution. Both factions of Zionism want a one world government. One run out of Jerusalem, the Netanyahu crowd, the other crowd out of Ukraine. That's why they started the war against Russia and told you that Russia started the war. They're Khazarian mafia. That's where they're from if you study history. Eastern Ukraine, southern Russia. They want it back. Zelensky is what? Jewish. Killing. What are they doing in the war? 1.3 million white Slavic men slaughtered in the Ukrainian army. They're using Ukrainians to fight European wars. Russia doesn't want war. Russia didn't blow up its Nord Stream gas. It was giving cheap gas to Germany, make an economic powerhouse. Why would Russia want war? Russia doesn't want to expand its boundaries. It's got plenty of land, as Putin has said. This is all Western propaganda. But why have dumbed down Westerners remain dumbed down? They keep supporting lies, liars like Netanyahu, and wars. Whether it's right-wing propaganda or left-wing. The other solution is I support the BRICS. One of the reasons I moved to Indonesia, it's part of the BRICS. It has a better future than the declining West. Australia could have a great future if it joined the BRICS and a dump left-wing Albanese and dump right-wing whoever they're going to put up for the next liberal coalition. Dump them both and elect a nationalist leader that doesn't answer to left-wing media, right-wing Murdoch media, but has enough media support from independent media to provide a national leadership and say, you know what? Income tax is a Rothschild's created tax. It's gone. No income tax on Australians. No income tax on Americans and English on any Western world. Just ban the income tax and you'll have a better country. Well, who are we going to get taxed on? We're going to tax the resources that leave our country. Make our country great again. It's pretty simple. You don't have to be an economic guru. Tax the resources, not the people. You much increase productivity Australians would have and how much more money they would have and how much more affordable it would become just by cutting income tax, eliminating it, eradicating it, and eradicating the banker Israel control over our nation. You would now have a leader that represents the people. That's a democracy, right? You choose a leader to represent Australia and represent the best interests of Australia, not to be a puppet, a weak man like an Albanese, a puppet of a globalist oligarchy, globalist elite with a globalist agenda. Can it be done? Well, it won't happen. The leader won't show up in your nations, including in Australia, until the people are ready. And the people are still a little bit confused. They're awakening, but even some of the awakened still stand with Israel. It's like, if you haven't figured out Israel is the enemy of humanity yet, you got to come off the drugs. Got to come off the drugs. Oh, no, but the left don't like them dropping bombs on Gaza either. Well, the left have got something right, finally, okay? So don't be divided by left and right. Just because you're on the right side of politics, oh, we have to support Israel. No, you don't. Who told you that?
We started moving into the Epstein files, and everyone remembers that battle. That was the biggest battle on the planet, like the hardest thing to accomplish.
Yeah.
And he had his administration, the White House, telling the Speaker and Leader Thune, so Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune, stop this. Do not pass any resolution to release the Epstein files. He told Pam Bondi at the DOJ, no matter what you think of Pam Bondi, he flat out told her, do not release the Epstein files. He was blocking everybody.
It was all him because there's a huge narrative out there that it's all Pam Bondi's fault. That
they want to make it Pam Bondi.
Undermining him. You're saying that, to your knowledge, he was driving this bus. Trump drove the bus to suppress the Epstein files, according to what you witnessed?
I know he did. And I don't have any knowledge of him and Pam Bondi's personal conversations, but I know he was telling everyone not to release the files. And his reasoning is people are going to get hurt, is what he said. He kept saying that. People are going, he was publicly saying it's a Democrat hoax. It's a Democrat hoax, you know, blah, blah. He was saying all this stuff and shaming people. But behind the scenes, he was telling all of us, he was telling Mike Johnson, he's telling everybody, telling Pam Bondi, people are going to get hurt. And who he was talking about, what he told me on the phone, our final conversation, when he had really had it with me, because I wouldn't take my name off the discharge petition.
Good for you.
And I was publicly saying over and over again, release Epstein files. He told me, he said, my friends will get hurt. So he's talking about his friends. He told me, people, you know, Marjorie, people at Mar-a-Lago, they're going to get hurt. And I said, people have already gotten hurt. There's over 1,000 women that have been raped by Jeffrey Epstein and are accusing others. And they've told the FBI, they've told the police, they have been trying for years to get justice for this. Right. I was like, people already have been hurt. And I was trying to tell him, I see, in my mind, I still lived in this world of, well, surely we're going to find out what Bill Clinton did. And Hillary Clinton went to the island too. What did she do? You know, I was in that whole world of, it was only Democrat bad guys that were guilty.
Right.
And even the Epstein victims themselves had said, the ones that I had talked to, now others have said differently, but the ones I was talking to said, Donald Trump did nothing wrong. Their attorney told me and said publicly, Donald Trump actually helped convict Jeffrey Epstein. So, and I was telling the president this. I was telling him, the women are supporting you. Some of them even voted for you, Mr. President. Right. Their attorney supports you. I said, please have them in the Oval Office and support them. I said, you have everybody in the Oval Office, everybody.
Right.
Why can't you have them in? But he flat out refused. And then you saw it.
Yeah, very interesting coming out there. This is just latest news that apparently Trump's the one that stopped the Epstein file release, telling Pam Bondi she couldn't do it. Now, is he just doing that to protect his friends, or there's more to it? Either way, we know Israel has Trump leveraged, manipulated, controlled, and it doesn't appear waiting for him to save Israel to last is worthwhile, other than being caught up with hopium. But it's not all doom and gloom. You get over the betrayal of Trump, accept that he is who he is, and he's Israel first, and that's just the way it's going to be. And support your nation, supporting a nationalist leader, nationalist policies, and joining the BRICS. The BRICS want a multipolar world. They want trade, not war. Do you support trade or war? China's never bombed Australia into democracy. Have they dropped a single bomb? No, they just dropped money on us. Is that not a good thing? What's your choice? You want money or you want war? I'm pretty sure the average person goes, I'll take the money. Oh, but they're buying up all our farmland. Well, I'm a farmer. If Chinese offer me big money, I would sell my farm too, because I want money. I want profits. We've become very rich thanks to China. Ironically, the last GFC, Australia survived because of China buying everything we had, our commodities, etc. I mean, what a nation. Australia just has to dig up dirt and it becomes rich. Yet we're completely screwed up our economy, almost $1 trillion in debt, tax to the eyeballs, in debt to the eyeballs. These bankers create the tax system. They create the debt. They keep pumping up the real estate market, so you always have to be in debt. So you're a slave. And when the Reserve Bank finishes trialing one of the leading trials of central bank digital currency, you'll learn what a slave is after the next GFC on steroids, and they freeze your bank accounts and issue you central bank digital currency, shit kind, known as a slave kind. That's what's coming, unless we do something about it. There's a lot you can do. Don't leave all your money in Western banks. You'll regret it. Do not leave all your assets in Australian real estate. You'll also regret that. We'll be back with more in the next episode of McIntyre Report. Till then, keep on learning, keep speaking the truth, share the truth, and know the truth.
Are you somebody who's always wanted the beachfront lifestyle without the beachfront cost? Imagine waking up to ocean views, grabbing coffee steps from the sand, and calling it home. Now you can, with freehold beachfront property that's still affordable. Whether you're investing, escaping, or just upgrading your lifestyle, this is your moment. Luxury living, freehold ownership, oceanfront life, it's all here. Your beachfront lifestyle starts now. Are you in? Learn more at marinabay.com.